what happened?
Yeah, probably should.
All right, you want to tell a story?
We had a little bit of an argument today, but everything's been ironed out, I think, and it's going to be better than it was.
Okay, I'll tell a story.
Austin's going to tell the story. Listen up. Get your blanket. Get your popcorn.
All right.
Get on the couch. Get your joint, and listen to Austin tell the story.
All right, here's the story. So you guys obviously know that they brought up this trip, and then we're like, well, we need final cut, like final edit, final approval rights, or whatever. Which, for those who don't know, is like pretty much unheard of. It's like standard procedure to get the people to sign like the exact opposite of that, where you're like, yeah, here's my whole life and soul. You can do whatever you want with it. When you're on like a show, it's standard procedure to protect from liability, right? Because someone's like, I don't like how you represented me. So you're like, give them permission to use you. So to ask for final edit rights is like saying that anything that you're in, you get to look at it and you have to sign off on it. Okay, basics covered, right? So we demanded that from the beginning. That's all cool. And if you've been following it, we had the whole contract with Duffy situation. We go back and forth. They send me a contract and it's like crazy. Non-negotiable terms. We write a contract from like the beginning, right? From scrap. And then we negotiate it all out. We get good. Okay, now, right before we're about to sign the contract, in our contract, we added the stipulation that Duffy has to inform us of anyone he knows of that's going on the trip immediately. Like as soon as he has news that someone's going, he has to tell us. Like there's no deceptions, no hiding anything, no lying anything, whatever. So right before Duffy signed that, Jeran gets a call from McToon, and I'm just a quick recap if you don't know. Jeran gets a call from McToon. He says, "So turns out I'm gonna go." And so the story was basically that McToon called Duffy, said, "Oh, turns out I'm gonna go to Antarctica," and he said, "Wait," because he thought that we didn't sign the contract in time. And he's like, wait, I think they are going to sign the contract here in just a second. But they are going to go. And so you need to call them and let them know. So then he calls Jeran, tells them. Jeran calls me, like, you'll never believe what just happened. Right before we went through all this, we were about to sign the contracts. Coon says he's going to go on the trip. So I'm like, what? Okay. So then we speculate, like, oh, were they working together? Were they colluding, whatever? All right, now, then everyone's been asking me, McToon's saying that he's going to wear a body cam the whole time. He's going to film you. He's going to film all your conversations. They're going to make sure they get you and when and if you see the 24-hour sun and get your face. And so the whole pretense being that they're going to like humiliate us, and McToon's going to have all the behind-the-scenes footage to kind of humiliate us or to make a hit piece. And they're like, so you did all this. You made all these things to protect yourself with Duffy, but McToon's got the the golden footage where they can humiliate you. Like, so what are you going to do? He didn't sign the contract. And I'm like, yo, just trust us. We got it covered. So I just started saying, stay McTooned, like stay tuned, right? You'll figure it out. So what it was that in ALE's guidelines themselves, so everyone involved in the trip had to sign it. It says you cannot film any of the individuals or participants of the trip. Like, just think about if someone like pretty wealthy wants to go to Antarctica, but they want to keep their anonymity. You can't just like put them in your documentary, So the idea is that our guests respect their privacy. We respect their privacy. So you're not allowed to film anyone on the trip unless you have their express written consent. And this only doesn't pertain to like wide angle shots or 360 cams where you're doing a landscape shot and they just so happen to be in it, unless they object. So they can even object to that. So we knew that for McToon to go on this trip, he had actually signed that, but that he probably didn't actually know he signed it, because he was running around claiming that he was going to put us in the thing, whatever. Okay. So we knew the whole time we were just going to, approach them right, like once we got here, and we didn't want to ruin the vibe at dinner the first night. So we were trying to be kind of chill. Then there's GoPros all up on us from McToon everywhere. So we're like, okay, we got to go ahead and bring this up. So we do our orientation today, and then we bring out the form that basically repeats ALE guidelines and gets them to sign saying that he's not allowed to film us in any way. It's obvious. It's like an issue. If they don't just sign it, they're like, wait, it says that you can't sign it here. And they were right. Actually, the way it was written was that we were objecting entirely. And it's kind of unfair to say that they can't take a 360 camera or a wide angle shot or whatever, right? So, okay, long story short, we end up just like airing it all out, right? And we air it all out. Like the issue with Toon, how he slanders us and creates hit pieces and is dishonest, and he says flat should have their children taken away from them and all this great stuff, and how he's been telling all his people that he's going to film us. So we're kind of pushing back and forth. Duffy is actually kind of defending some of Toon's behavior. I guess to give credit to him towards the end, he does kind of like press back on him. Okay, so that's kind of like the real quick recap was that we actually like had this like real intense conversation like in the ALE room right after orientation, where they're like not wanting to sign it, and it got McKeegan, you got Duffy, and you got Mattoon,
It got
and
to
we're
the
all
point
sitting
where
there
you
talking.
said you weren't going on the trip.
Yeah. So basically,
It didn't get that bad.
Duffy. Yeah. Like I had to call their bluff because Duffy's like, well, this is like unacceptable. It's out of left field or whatever. It's like I'm like, it's just exactly what is already in the ALE guidelines. So like, why would it be a big deal? And obviously McToon was just not wanting to sign it, and so he's like, well, I mean, I don't know, like either like we don't like we get rid of this and we just move on, or like you guys can just not go on the trip. I'm like, okay, we won't go on the trip. I don't care. We won't go. That's fine.
All
We're
right,
not
fine,
going.
you'll go. All right, good. We're not going.
Yeah, like because obviously they need us to go on the trip. So anyway, that's kind of it was like the stalemate. So then we ended up like laying it all out, and all these narratives about like I mean the funniest part to me, Jared, I don't know anything about. I was like giving specifics about the stuff that McToon like lied about and slandered and stuff, and he's like, I don't remember that. No, I don't think I said that. Oh, and then McKee's like, I was being sarcastic, and all. It's like, no, dude.
No, that wasn't the best part. The best part was you saying you said this. He said no, I didn't. You said want to bet $15,000. He said nope.
Yeah,
That was the best part.
I put my hand down and asked if he wanted to bet 15K. I also offered
Nope.
Duffy a 15K bet on a bluff later because like they were like really it's Toon. Toon was lying, but so long story short, they agree. Toon agreed not to take. He's not going to put any footage of us from any portion of this trip at all on his channel, and that he's not allowed to film us specifically with our likeness at all on the trip, et cetera, et cetera. So we got what we
Which
want.
is good. That's good. That's a good sign of good faith.
And like all we really want is just like for everyone to be cool and have good vibes and just go
Look at this dope.
make the observations. So but that did happen today. There's obviously more details, and that was a long story, but now you guys kind of know.
Yeah, I saw people complaining about the moon with the sunrise. We just said that you couldn't see the sunrise until what'd you say? 6?
6:52.
Well, you couldn't see the sun itself until then.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
You saw the light and
Where would you say it rose from?
but that's when it was so many clouds you couldn't tell.
Is there a way to see it on your live that I could show on my phone? Maybe it's
Also,
not
give
gonna
us
be
like
the
audio
quality.
feedback if we're
I got a time lapse.
So
Yeah.
Maybe move a little that way.
nice.
like this way.
And it took
So
a slight angle.
So Lowry.
4:54
Yeah.
a.m.
Okay.
Directly outside of my hotel room.
Okay.
You'll see that.
It was so hard to tell. Like from the beginning, this was so much darker, but it could have just been the clouds were blocking all that. And then over here, it was so bright that I'm like, yo, which way is the sun actually coming from? Yeah.
And then
Yeah, you said we went to film and crying about being filmed. Yeah, because we didn't come here to be filmed by other people. Aren't we here to watch an observation of a celestial event?
We've been saying it since the beginning.
6:53 a.m.
Dude, this is what's really going to happen, Jeran. Now that we've said that, all the people that thought they had the whole like home run and we're going to get McToon's like footage of us the whole time and they donated with that. That's it. Like that comment came from him, like that kind of person. So we're going to have some pissed off Globers because they want to see, I guess that's humiliated or whatever, but yo, my camera's better than Jeran's.